Right, good morning. This was a job that's just come up out of the blue more than anything. Now, sometimes when you get a phone call and they're like, yeah, can you come down? We need a filter system, stuff like that, and then the install and everything like that. And you think, right, okay. He said, well, we've already done the pond. And you're like, okay, right, no problem. I'll come down and have a look. And to be fair, it's in the beautiful North Wales. This place is just stunning. What a place. Look at that behind me. Right, so I'll show you the pond first, and then I've come down today just to bring some pipe work down for the builders, because it's going to be the builders who are going to put the bottom drain in, because the bottom drain wasn't put in when we started, which is fine, but we've caught it just right for us to be able to say, yeah, right, okay, there might be a little bit of knocking through walls and stuff just to get the 4-inch pipe work in. But anyway, it's better off, like they've just been saying, he said, better off doing it right now instead of turning the job into a retro pond. And also, they also put the pad in, because they've been online and had a look round, and they put a pad in for a Nexus 320, right, as well, right, but they didn't put a bottom drain in, right? So they put a pad in for the Nexus 320 to be set up as a gravity system with bottom drain, but then they didn't put the hole through the wall. But now we're as you'll see, we're bang on time really. We've got perfect timing just to get the pipe work through, and then we'll get the install done, get the fiberglassing done, and then see. But the pond's it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So let's just have a quick look. It's not huge, so I like doing these ones because a lot of people will be having ponds this big, or only be able to have the ponds this big. But let's have a look anyway. So I'm up here and we'll just go around this side first. Let's just go down here. Right, so as you can see, the pond there, stonework's absolutely beautiful around it, and it's proper stonework as well. It's none of this cladding sort of stuff. Look how thick it is. So yeah, you can see the pond there. There's going to be a window in the middle. All great, all perfect, right? So that's not a problem. We've just marked in where the return lines are going to go, which are going to get core drilled through. But then we see the issue, which is here. So there's plenty of space to put a bottom drain in. They've already there's already that ledge there, which can just be, we can sink the drain in a little bit and fill it through. But unfortunately now, right, so if you have a look on this side, let me just walk up here without dying. Right, so if we have a look on this side here, right, so there's the pad for the Nexus 320, right, which is perfect. The height's great, everything. So the Nexus will have to come up a tiny little bit, but that's better than having to knock that concrete out, right? But on this side, there's the land drain, which is the pipe there, right? So if we came out, say if we came out that way and in there, we're not going to have enough room to put a pipe in, and then they're going to have to move the land drain. So that's just going to be an impossibility. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through there into that corner, near that corner, about a foot out of the corner, through there, pipe works over there, which are going to dogleg a bottom drain, and then it's going to come up, and we're just going to sit it straight into where the pad is there, and then we can do whatever we need to do from the 4-inch to the 1-inch pipe. So that's pretty much what it's going to be. So if you have a look on there, let me just try and get back down again. Hang on. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to walk around, I think. Tell you what, we'll look at the view. Look at that. What a place when it's going to be done. Absolutely mega. And you're in the beautiful part of North Wales as well, and you've got all these. Look at that. Yeah, and everybody has a truck in the front garden. I'll show you that in a minute. Right, so let's get over here. So, we'll get back on this bit here. So as you can see, we have, I'm going to break something. We've just put in a return hole there. You see the outline there, the spot, the splodge. That's going to be one return coming back in on 1.5 inches. Over there, you can see at the bottom, which is a white splodge. There, and that's the other return coming in. So there's going to be 2 returns on here, from the net, and there's going to be a skimmer going on that back wall as well. So we are going to belt and brace it, even with the filtration system. I mean, we're going to put a bead on the skimmer line because, and there's going to be an auto kit on the Nexus, basically because the customer is always away, so he wants it. And even if, so the Nexus is going to auto clean, and then the bead isn't going to be needing to be cleaned a crazy amount of times. So once it's all up and running and everything like that, I would imagine with the gallonage on this pond, it's going to be probably about 2,000 gallon. Well, just maybe a little bit over. So it's going to be well over filtered. And you know, I put the options in either to put a Tempest on there or put the bead on, and the customer's gone for the bead. So, and you know, it is a bit OTT, but when you're working away and stuff like that, it's not, it's better really, so he's not having to come back and worry about it and stuff like that when he's abroad. So, but yeah, I mean, it will be belt and braces, but the options were there and the client just went for the bigger option. So but yeah, so we're going to hopefully get it fiberglassed in November, and then we're going to do the install as well. Now the only thing is that they're going to do, which my installers are not going to be happy with, is they need to build and backfill here. So they need, see, when you've got a pad like that and you've got all that space, hang on, that's fantastic for us because we can just get all the equipment in. And that the reason why I park my truck here is because there's a road which goes up here, a road, and then so the access here is just fabulous. So we can't even think about having a better access job really. So now we can truck there, filter off, filter in, and that's it. But they do need to build a wall here and sort of like box it in before we start, which is a little bit of a pain in the so, but I mean, I might just try and appeal to their nature to not do that and actually get the filtration down here a little bit earlier. So, but that's what happens. You know, you come down to look at these jobs and, you know, you want to get it done right, but, you know, it with the wall round there, that really is going to hinder us doing the pipe work. So I will try and speak to them, and I mean, I think they're already a bit miffed off with me coming down saying you're going to have to put an hole in that wall. And it's funny really, because you see it with a lot of builders, and they say, when they come in and this is just like the owner of the house and everything, the property, the business, he's just sort of like said, oh, do you know what? In fact, no, it wasn't. It was one of the lads who's building it, and he turned around and he went, oh, do you know what would look nice there? A pond with a glass window in it, because his dad's got a pond. And then the owner just went, oh, yeah, do that then, do that. And then he's like, oh, shit. So it's his own fault. It's his own fault. I've got no sympathy for him. You know, you give these ideas to people that can afford this sort of stuff, then and then he goes ahead and do it. But I just said with the pond size, I said, it's probably, with the space that you've got on the land here, I think it's probably going to be the first of a few. I really do. Once you people know who watch my channel, is that, you know, once you get into this, they're going to go for it. So, but just thought I'd show you this. So these lads are here now. We've done everything. I said to him, I said, do you want to put your, I'll put your company name on my channel. He said, no, we don't want to do any ponds. Don't want to do any ponds. But look at this for the outside kitchen. And this was just apparently supposed to be a patio. And then when they put the patio in, he went, oh, do you know what? Stick a kitchen in. So, and then here, which is fabulous. I mean, it's not going to be working now, but this is because he has a transport company. They called it the Griffin, and that's a pub, a bar. So, yeah, the front comes down, you get in the side, and that's it. You've got a bar. Absolutely amazing, brilliant. So, but it will look, I mean, look at that, the rock there. So, and also this is going to be an external window. So, sorry, not an external window as such, but it's going to come right to the edge there. So there'll be a frame in there and everything, and then they'll fiberglass into it. It'll probably take them a couple of days to do it all. But yeah, so I think it will look good, and I think it's good for the channel because I think it's an average sized pond, which could fit in most people's gardens. So what I'll do is when we finish the job, I'll measure it all the way with the filters and everything, so then you can see the thing. I should have brought the drone down really, but Well, best laid plans and all that. So yeah, so that's the pond. Thankfully, it's not going to be a retrofit. Thankfully, we can do it properly from the start, even though there is a little bit of work to be done to do that. But it's better to do that because, like I said, even if we put a pump fed system in, I mean, we could have put a bead on it, but still, if you're going to put this is the difference, you see. So now, just imagine if you had a filter stood on the side of the wall there, pump fed. You know, it's just going to look an eyesore. So it's better to do this now than it is. And like I said, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been, they could have put a base in there. They could have done anything, and then you're having to break back through the base. So at least we've got it at the right time, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. Well, it's not going to be an issue for me at all. So, but yeah, they're going to crack on with that. I'm going to ask them in a minute whether they can hold back on the wall. I don't see why they can't. I don't think there's any none. But I think because what it is, they're putting a load of stuff like the stonemasons back. But anyway, I'll ask them, and then we'll probably find out in the next video whether we do or not, because we will be doing the install. But I'm away next week in Japan, so hopefully the lads will get it done while I'm away. And then when I come back, we will see what it's like. All right, thanks very much, guys. See you on the next one.